Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's August 28th. Great to be with all of you today. My name is Bob Lang, and it's time for our Daily Bites. Great to today talking a little bit about markets. And, well, S&P 500 hit all-time highs yesterday. Closed just a touch above those old all-time high levels. Is the Russell 2000, which is now within a whisker of all-time highs, about 2% away from all-time highs, maybe a little bit less than that. We see it over here on the left-hand side. We see the Russell 2000 closed at 235.94. We're up a little bit above there right now. 241 or so is about the all-time highs in the Russell 2000. So we're watching that one carefully. And of course, late last week, we did see the Dow Industrials hit a new all-time high. So all of them are kind of in the mix right now. Some of the things that are supporting all-time highs would include the limit of volume breadth, which hit a new all-time high recently, and you like to see the indices follow that new all-time high in the cumulative volume breadth to all-time highs as well too. So we're kind of seeing that happen. We're not all of the indices moving up together, of course, but maybe that'll happen sooner rather than later. Of course, last night we had earnings coming from strong across the board, good earnings growth, revenue growth, gross margins. They offered a $60 billion addition to their buyback program, and they somewhat raised guidance, but they did keep it a little bit shy because they didn't include any chip sales to China. So once that actually happens, it's going to raise revenue and earnings about 15% if they do, because they talked about maybe adding about $2.5 billion to $3 billion into that country. So once it happens, I suspect that the numbers are going to go up. It's not in some of the models that are, from what I heard from the analysts who are looking at NVIDIA. So that could be a nice pop down the road for NVIDIA. However, the stock has performed extremely well, up 33.5% since the last earnings report in May. So you would expect maybe a little bit of a pullback and maybe a sell in the news here, but that might not happen for very long because again, you have that stock buyback there that's going to act like a put option the price of the stock. So let's take a look at the charts here for a little bit. S&P futures just up a touch here. NASDAQ down a little bit. Dow Industrials up a little bit as well too. Tomorrow we have the PCE number coming out. Today we have a little bit of data coming out to a revision of the GDP number and a few other items as well too. We have some earnings that came out along with NVIDIA, which include Pure Storage, which was real strong, and Snowflake, which also was very strong. Nutanix came out with good earnings, but stock is down. This morning, good earnings from Dollar General. Stock's up nicely today. Also from Victoria's Secret, VSCO, BBWI, also strong. Bath and Body Works. We also have good earnings, but not up very much at all from Best Buy. Tonight we'll have earnings coming out from Dell, among a few other names as well too. So let's see here, what else is coming up from, take a look at that one. Let's see here, we have, here you go. We have Energy, Marvell, Affirm, Amber Morning, Alibaba. So keep an eye on those names as well. So volatility down quite sharply here, down 14, under 14, under 15%. So a little bit dangerous right now, right? Because the market is sitting here rather than anything that's going to derail the markets going up. And that may be right for a little bit of time, but for the most part, you have to be careful that too much complacency is going to tilt the boat too much to one side, and we're talking about the bullish side over here. So we have to be cautious that if there's too much bullishness here, we have to start taking some money off the table. protecting ourselves with some puts. We did add some puts yesterday towards the end of the day, just in case, which we always like to do. Again, let's take a look at the charts here. So you can see the S&P 500 has been moving up nicely since that low back in April, making higher highs, higher lows. Absolutely nothing wrong with this chart. It's starting to crest over here. But if we just go sideways for the next several weeks, what's going to happen? It's going to frustrate a lot of people, right? We're not going up. We're probably going to go down. If we don't go down, we're going to go up. So, but if we move sideways here, that could certainly happen after this nice big long move up in July, and then also a positive move if we get there tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow is the last trading day of August, August 29th. We will have a 3-day weekend coming up. I don't expect volatilities to start rising unless there's some adverse news over the next day or two. We could get the rise in volatility early next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, as the market excuse me, pays it back from low volatility this past week or so. But we'll play that as comes. Always have some protection on, raise some cash, wash, rinse, and repeat. It's the same drill we do all over again. So I'm going to lay down over here. Have a great day, everyone. I know it's not a whole lot today, but we'll have a lot more next week. Probably we may do a special Daily Bites next Tuesday on the 2nd after the holiday on Monday. So stay tuned for that, and have a great weekend. Watch the U.S. Open. I will be doing that and playing some tennis as well too. Again, appreciate all of you spending a little time with me today. Trade well today and tomorrow, and have a great long weekend. Happy Labor Day. Thank you very much for our troops and our veterans for protecting us, keeping us safe every single day, and appreciate all of you spending a little time with it. And by the way, did anybody know that tune that I played on beginning of the Daily Bites? It was called Thunder Island by a guy. I don't never even another song from this guy, but it was a song back I used to quite a bit when I was a kid. So, enjoy that as we go out. See you guys all early next week, hopefully. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, Bobby Gerald. Look what I found.